Hello everyone, it's me, Eternally L, with a new video. Today, girl, you are about to become the boundary queen after you watch this video, because this video is how to stand on business 101. Because there are a lot of you girlies out there who are so sweet and so kind, and we love to see it. However, you can be too sweet, too nice, too kind, to the point where you let people step over you. You let people just say whatever they want without putting them in their place. You just keep giving and giving your energy to those who don't deserve it. Hi, my name is Elle, otherwise known as Eternally Elle, and I make healing content, mostly on my TikTok, but also on here. So if you like more long-form videos, watch my YouTube. If you like more short-form content, go over to my TikTok and go check me out. But yes, girl, we are going to learn how to stand on business. This video is going to include how to create boundaries for yourself and for other people throughout your life, and how to handle disrespect, because we don't like that stuff. This video is also going to cover how you can still be yourself, you can still be sweet, you can still be kind, you can still be loving with boundaries, because boundaries will save your life. Okay, so I feel like a lot of people talk about boundaries this and boundaries that, how to have boundaries so you can protect your energy and heal, you know what I'm saying? Without actually telling you how to actually set a boundary. You know, how to actually be like, hey, this is how I want to do things around here, to protect my own peace. In order to set a boundary, you need to be very, very clear about what you want as a person and what you can give to other people. Because you know about the people that don't have boundaries, you know the people pleasers, you know the people that let others step all over them, you know the people that don't stand up for themselves. Those people do not have boundaries, and they all have one thing in common. They don't love themselves a lot. They see other people as more important as themselves. And this is not me saying that you need to be a cold-hearted B-word, you have to be so rude, blah blah blah. No, this is not what I'm saying, because a lot of you guys take things to an extreme. This is very much sown throughout the whole I don't owe anyone anything rhetoric, because I feel like it was good at first when people would say things like that, and I would personally make videos on it too. I would be like, hey, you don't owe anyone anything, okay? In terms of your time and your energy, especially if they don't deserve it, especially if this is a person that you don't know. But of course, the internet goes along and twists that into being like, oh, if you don't owe anyone anything, that just means that you don't owe anyone human connection, or oh, you don't owe anyone kindness or respect. Like, yes, of course you owe the next person or a stranger respect and kindness. Like, you guys take things to such an extreme. You guys will twist other people's words and be like, oh, well, you guys are saying that you guys just need to be rude to everybody, or oh, you don't owe anyone a smile, or oh, you don't owe anyone respect. Like, let's use our thinking caps. Of course you need to be kind and respectful to strangers, but I am talking about the people that you barely know and expect already so much from you. I'm talking about those people that are rude and just siphon your energy and so much more. So no, this does not apply to strangers, okay? Obviously show kindness and respect to strangers. Now, as I was saying, you need to go on a self-love journey or a healing journey in order to know what you really want out of life, how you really want things to go with people. In order to start creating boundaries, you need to have a great foundation of self-love and healing. Because if you don't have love for yourself, why would you take care of yourself? Why would you create boundaries with other people? You are going to see others as more respected than yourself if you don't have a good self-love foundation. Because boundaries are an act of self-love. If you truly think about it, not letting other people get to you energetically to the point where it's too much, that really shows respect for yourself. That really shows that you love yourself on an immense level. So make sure you heal most of your traumas. Make sure that you actually have the knowledge and the love for yourself in order to start creating boundaries. Boundaries are different for every single person in our life, okay? You may not have the same boundaries for a family member as you do for a coworker, as you do for an acquaintance, as you do for a friend. So for example, right, let's say that you have a friend that constantly talks about something that they can fix, but they just don't want to, okay? They're constantly ranting to you about certain things, and you would give them advice, and every single time they won't take your advice. And of course, you still have love for this person, you still have respect for this person, but them ranting to you and them constantly venting to you and not fixing their own problems is obviously going to get to you energetically and emotionally, because you keep giving out advice, you keep giving them the love that they need and that they cherish. However, they are not being receptive to your advice. They are not being receptive to the emotional labor that you are doing. In order to set a boundary with this person, you would have to tell them right as soon as they start to talk to you about this stuff, or right as soon as they start to vent to you about this stuff, you have to nip it in the bud right then and there. You have to be like, hey, I appreciate you trusting me enough to come to me about your issues, about your problems. However, I don't feel comfortable giving you advice anymore, or I don't feel comfortable you ranting to me anymore. It really takes an emotional toll on me. And if this person reacts negatively, if they're like, oh, well, you're my friend, oh, you're supposed to be there for me all the time whenever I need it, oh, well, you're supposed to do this, and that, drop them. Drop them, okay? Because you were the adult in the situation. You were the one that decided, hey, I still care about this relationship even though it's taking an emotional toll on me, so I'm going to set a boundary and see how this person reacts. If this person reacts negatively, boom, they no longer have a place in my life, because they expect me to have all of this emotional labor for them and for their issues that they refuse to solve themselves, yet they don't give me the same kind of energy. I don't feel comfortable ranting to them. Or maybe you just have something going on and you don't feel comfortable sharing it with that person. Whatever it is, if it's not being reciprocated, girly, cut them out. However, if this person does react positively to this boundary and is like, hey, I'm so sorry, I was not realizing how much of an emotional toll this was taking on you, that's completely fine, I'll stop ranting to you. Then perfect, because how people react to our boundaries will really tell us if they deserve to even stay in our lives, okay? Because if people are reacting negatively to your boundary, that means that that person was benefiting from you not having that boundary set in the first place, So, and you'll truly know if this person in your life is mature enough to be around you within your circle, if they react positively to it, if they react nicely to it, if they are respectful of you as a person and your boundaries. That's really it, girl. It's really, really easy and really simple to set a boundary with someone, okay? It is very simple. It is very nice. You can still be kind about it. You can still be respectful about it, obviously. However, it is up to that person and their reaction to determine whether or not they still have a place in your life, whether or not you stop talking to them, whether or not this friendship continues to keep going. So now that you know how to set a boundary, now that you have a great foundation of self-love and respect for yourself, now that you know how to set a boundary, this is how you will handle disrespect. If that person reacted negatively to it and they start being really disrespectful, let's say they start calling you names, let's say they are just like, oh, you think you're all that, or, oh, you're supposed to be there for me, or they try to gaslight you and minimize your emotional labor and try to make it seem as if it's not a big deal, this is how you do it. I personally like to handle disrespect in a way that doesn't give them my energy at all. I will simply just block you. I will simply just walk away. I will simply just never speak to you again. Boom. You will no longer have to worry about me, girl. You will no longer have to worry about me, because life is too short to be dealing with other people's BS. Life is too short to be dealing with those who don't have respect for yourself like the respect that you have for your own self. So I will gladly just walk away. I will pull back all of my energy, give it all to myself once again, and just completely disappear from that person's life, okay? And call this toxic, call this, oh, well, you're ghosting, or, oh, well, you should communicate as many chances as you can. You already communicated with them, girl. What else is there to say? I only need to say things once in order for it to compute in your brain, okay? I should only need to tell you things once if they bother me, once if something you're telling me or keep doing to me is too much. And if you react negatively and you keep trying to do it, that is a sign that you don't respect me. That is a sign that you don't see me as my own person, and you really just see me as an emotional crutch. So no, I will be handling that disrespect accordingly. However, let's say it's just a small sign of disrespect. Let's say someone keeps talking over you. Don't stop talking. Don't stop talking in order to let them talk. Keep talking. but a little bit louder than you were before, okay? Obviously, don't shout or yell over them, but just keep talking as if they're not even there, because interrupting is very annoying and very rude. And I know that this can happen like very accidentally sometimes, you know, like I'm guilty of interrupting people. Like, we're not perfect, we're all human, you know, but I will gladly just shut my mouth if I realize that I have interrupted somebody, you know, because that's very rude, okay? It's all about etiquette. It's all about having manners and being an adult. However, you can set boundaries all you want. You can handle disrespect all you want. And you can say to people, oh, well, I stand on business, or oh, I would do this. I have so much self-respect. I have so much self-love. Okay, so actually stand on business. Actually stand on business. You know that ex you still have in your phone that literally broke your heart? Why don't you block them? You know that one friend that is literally so fake and talks bad about you behind your back every single time? Why aren't they cut off? Why are they still around in your life? You know, or that toxic family member that just expects you to be their emotional crutch? Why are you still giving them advice? Why are you still letting them vent to you? Standing on business is actually keeping your word, girl. You can say all you want, oh, I set boundaries, oh, I do this, oh, I do that, I have so much self-respect, I'm a baddie, blah, blah, blah. But if you don't do baddie things, if you don't keep yourself to your word and your standard, if you don't actually do the actions that go along with what you're saying to yourself, you're not standing on business, and you're not as strong as you thought you were. Okay, because words are just words, but actions are actions. This is why the saying actions speak louder than words is a thing. Because you can tell as many people, oh, I'm confident, oh, I'm a bad bitch, or I'm this, I'm that, but then be the most insecure person. It's like, are you trying to convince us or yourself? Okay, so you have to be really careful, because confidence whispers, insecurity screams. So you really have to just stand on business, and people will be able to read your energy, okay? Men and women alike, they can read energy, okay? Someone can just tell by your body language if you're insecure. Someone can tell by the way you carry yourself, by your energy, if you are insecure or if you are confident. You know, those who are truly confident in themselves are not preaching it to everybody around them. They're not constantly reminding other people that they're confident, because if other people know that they're confident, why would they need a constant reminder of it? They would just know by that person's actions, by how that person carries themselves, by how that person sets boundaries and actually stands on business, by how that person actually cuts people out of their life that are toxic and that aren't adding anything positive to their life. So don't claim to be something that you're not, because you will just be seen as a clown. You will be seen as someone who doesn't keep up with their word and who actually doesn't respect themselves as much as they do. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because a lot of you girlies need to know how to stand on business. A lot of you girlies need to heal some past traumas and some past wounds, and a lot of y'all need to learn some self-love and some confidence. So if you enjoyed this kind of content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this video and to my channel. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram and on TikTok, where I have more short form content for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing day. Love you guys.